And welcome back to another video. Today we have father versus son. We have Ares, the god of war, versus Zeus, the god of the sky and, well, chief god of the Greek pantheon, right? Father of Olympus, I guess, or in the embodiment of Olympus, depending upon how you interpret him, right? In the game God of War 3, it was quite heavily implied that Zeus is Olympus, so right? Interesting to look at. But now we have this hypothetical fight. This would be a very good what if, in case of anyone who's watched the God of War 2 cutscene. And I've mentioned this, I think, before in a few videos, where Ares kills Kratos. By the way, at that point in this hypothetical or in this cutscene, Kratos does have the power of hope within him, and Ares killed him. So, I don't know what happens after that, but I think this would be a very interesting situation to see. But anyways, and now I know that while in the book it was stated that Ares is the fourth most powerful Olympian, but of course below the big three, and the big three are far above Ares. Again, this is considering lore and gameplay. So, intelligence, this is Zeus. Zeus is of course significantly older than Ares. Fighting ability, you're dealing with the god of war here. Okay, whoa. Alright. Strength, speed, durability, invulnerability. I'm going through these fairly quickly because they're fairly straightforward. It's not too difficult, right? Strength, I don't think anyone's going to debate me on this point. I know Ares was able to match God of War 1 Kratos with the Power of Hope. So the Power of Hope was able to get Kratos to match Ares, not even eclipse him. Which is incredible. That's an incredible feat to consider. But I don't think Ares is quite at the level of Zeus. Not at this point. Speed, again. In terms of movement speed, Zeus is faster. Of course, they both have teleportation, so there's that to consider. But overall speed goes to Zeus. Durability, again, Ares could tank his own tendrils, piercing his body and all that. Zeus got stabbed with the blade of Olympus and kind of like walked it off, which Ares got killed by the blade of the gods, which I think is, well, no, it's undoubtedly probably a not as powerful weapon to use as the blade of Olympus. So let's just get that. Like, that's, I think, quite reasonable to state. Invulnerability, Ares wears armor. Zeus doesn't. Right? So, again, invulnerability pretty much comes down to that. Because armor allows you to take more hits. Or allows you to absorb the hits to a greater extent than if you were not to. Right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's protection. Energy projection and AP. In terms of overall energy projection, that would go to Ares, but in terms of AP, that goes to Zeus. So again, it's one of these situations where it's like, well, overall, in terms of energy projection, all Zeus has is throwing lightning bolts. That's it. He doesn't really have much else outside of that. But Ares is Ares of course has got a plethora of abilities, which also feeds into the versatility and the X factor. But in terms of energy projection AP, I'd give this one a tie. Again, just like with the Freya or the Zeus versus Sigurd fight, it's going to come down to this. So what we have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 to 4. Well, of course, with the tie and all that, right? But so it's like a 5 to 3, 6 to 3, 5 to 4, whatever. It's at the end of the day, Zeus will definitively beat Ares, right? And I'll get in. So again, in terms of versatility, again, pyrokinesis. I think some degree of necromancy, being able to summon dead soldiers and all that. Pocket dimension, geo or telekinesis, can manipulate the earth. Teleportation. The use of the tendrils, I guess, is also an ability in and of itself. So weapon summoning. The pocket dimension ability obviously is pretty OP, which actually will feed into the Y. Actually, it'll be mentioned in the X Factor part. But he's got so much more abilities. Zeus, in terms of overall abilities, Ares has more than Zeus. That's just how it is, based off of gameplay. X Factor, well, it comes down to not only the power of fear, but the fact that the whole point of a pocket dimension for Ares is to literally control everything about the environment within that setting. So When Ares brings Kratos into the pocket dimension, he breaks Kratos spiritually. He breaks him mentally. Which is why Ares will more often not get the X Factor against characters who are broken. Like Balder, that would work total. It would be completely effective against Balder. Thor, Odin, because Odin's a paranoid guy, and Ares in his own pocket dimension can recreate Ragnarok because he's well within his rights again. And I've said this before, in Ares' pocket dimension, he is a capital G god within that realm. There is there is no outside interference from any other deity. That's how powerful Ares is. So it's just, but in this case, if Zeus were to ever be in this pocket dimension, I really don't think Zeus is really going to be all that intimidated by it, first of all. And second of all, with the power of fear, I mean, he's just going to. I mean, even if Ares were to kill Zeus, Ares doesn't have the power of hope, so he can't kill Zeus anyways. At least in that respect, right? He can't kill him permanently like Kratos did. So it's just, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's the power of fear and the fact that Zeus isn't like mentally broken. He's not like spiritually compromised at all. He's he's just a power hungry tyrant, I guess. I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't think Ares doesn't have the power of hope. Could Ares kill Zeus? Hypothetically, yes, he could. But because Ares could totally outmaneuver and kill Zeus or weaken him or whatever. But at the end of the day, if it's a fight to the absolute death, Zeus is gonna win that. Ares won't. So that's the video. Yeah. And hopefully if I ever do, because I have a couple of what if videos where I have like what if Ares killed Kratos and actually went on to fight the Greek pantheon. I have my own thoughts on that, but that'll be covered for another video. But I actually absolutely love the concept of this fight happening within the God of War lore. I think it'd be such a crazy fight to actually like kind of not see, but just conceptualize, right? Because again, it's like, I don't know, because at the end of the day, right, the pattern within the Greek mythology is that the son overtakes the father, hugely, right? Uranus Kronos beat Uranus, right? Zeus and of course his siblings were able to beat the Titans. Kratos took Zeus out, right? And the rest of the Olympians. But if it wasn't going to be Kratos, it perhaps could have been Ares. In fact, it would have definitely followed the pattern. And Ares being, of course, not only the eldest son, but the most powerful son, or the most powerful of the next generation of gods, it definitely could have happened at some point sooner or later. Right? So, again, it's interesting to conceptualize. So, yeah, so anyways, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if there's any insight, right, or any opinions that you have. Because I think, again, because any insight that you may lend to any one of my videos, I could apply to future videos, and that might make it easier to determine who would win in a hypothetical battle. So that's it. So I hope you have a good day, and thanks for watching.